Are you about to have your fashion uni interview and don't know how to prepare? Well, you've come to the right place. This may be your first interview ever, but I can't stress enough, do not be scared. For starters, you'll probably forget the interview a few days after, so it's definitely not worth the negative energy. But we want to help you do as best you can in your fashion uni interview, so here are 3 top tips from our interview expert and some extra guidance from a fashion student who has just done her fashion uni interview and got accepted into London College Fashion.
Hello, my name is John Lees. I'm a career coach. The first thing I'm going to recommend to you is a strong sense of curiosity, because an awful lot of people are applying for these courses, and admissions tutors are looking for people who are really curious. They want to know more. You don't have to know a lot about everything, but you need to show that you are genuinely interested in real artists, in art traditions and history, in practitioners that inspire you and interest you, and you're able to talk with examples about work that you've seen that really has influenced the way you see the world.
So how do you do that, you may be wondering? Well, firstly, make sure you're keeping up with and reading fashion news. Second, make sure you're watching fashion films, documentaries and videos. And lastly, make sure you're reading about fashion and culture, or as our fashion applicant Gracie suggests.
So before my interviews, I mainly looked on the websites and on YouTube to see if anyone had had an interview for the same course and sort of what they expected, sort of just Googling it as well. I also made sure I had a list of examples and quotes from their website from the course specification, just in case they wanted to know what I knew about the course and it showed that I really was interested in it and hadn't just applied on a whim, basically.
The second thing I'd like to suggest is that you talk about your own work with energy. So if you're going to university, you're expected to have a portfolio, and that's great, and you may have some wonderful work in there. You may have some work which is part of a thinking process, but the most important thing is that you show that you have above average enthusiasm and energy for the subject that you are applying for, because it's going to cost a lot of money to educate you, and it's a big commitment to take you on. So what an organisation is looking for, what universities really want to hear, is that you have the energy to sustain the course. And that means a real interest. So if somebody asks you the question, why do you want to study this subject? And why do you want to study here? Yes, you need to do your homework, but you need to be able to answer with a real level of commitment and interest.
So how did you do that, Gracie?
I would say that before an interview, make sure that you really read around the subject, make sure that you are passionate about it, have examples of books, podcasts, whatever it is that you know or could reference potentially to show your further interest.
And the other thing I'd add, the final thing I'd add really, is to learn to talk about what you've done in a way that shows how much you have learned and how much you are open to learning. So I think that's the strength of the way you can talk about yourself and your own work, to talk about your portfolio, is to say where an idea started and show how it progressed. To talk about the original impulse, if you like, but to say how you developed an idea, how you worked on something, how you perhaps surprised yourself with a new approach. Talk people through the way you create your art rather than just presenting it as a finished piece, and show that you are capable of reflection and learning and just getting better and better at what you're doing.
So any last words of advice, Gracie?
Don't stress too much, because whatever happens it'll be a good learning opportunity either way.
If you remember those 3 things, that may help.